so stupid. Cute all Marvel characters.
My name's Thanos, and I like chicken. He's a big guy. He's protein, all right?
Had no plan for that.
You know he's got to eat chicken. He's a big old dude.
He's a big dude.
And protein shakes?
He's not get that big. Jeez.
He's probably taking some stuff he shouldn't be taking.
No, shh, don't say. Oh, steroids. Sorry. Look at that. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys just got done watching my spoiler review, welcome to our Thanos Explained. Is that Thanos Explained?
Thanos Explained.
We'll explain him. We'll talk about him a little bit. There's always an ending explained video on YouTube. But if you guys did not check that out, be sure to go check that out for all of our thoughts, our overwhelming thoughts on the movie. Devin just got out. I've watched it twice. And today, I just want to talk a little bit about... I recently came out with a Marvel Villains Ranked video before I saw the movie, and I said, you know, somehow if Thanos manages to top my favorite villains in the MCU, I will do a separate video. And guys, I have to tell you, after seeing the movie twice, Thanos might just be the biggest threat we have ever seen, not just in the Marvel movies, maybe in any movie ever, and we are here to tell you why. Devin, I want to start with you. What is your thoughts, first off, on the performance of Josh Brolin and the motion capture of Thanos?
Oh, it is unbelievable. First of all, Thanos is just his presence is just scary. From the first time I seen him when he came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, he is ginormous.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously one of the biggest in the Avengers is the Hulk.
The Hulk, yeah.
And to see him next to the Hulk and him standing eye to eye with the Hulk, maybe a little bit taller. Was he a little bit taller?
He looked a little bit, maybe not as broad, but maybe taller.
He was a little bit taller than the Hulk. So even his presence is scary when I first seen him. So yeah, he is a very, very scary dude. I'd fight him though.
I think you could take him.
him.
You got this, man. Stupid. Ow, God, that hurts every time.
See, it even hurts you here.
I am telling you, man, I can't even defeat a plastic head. But I like what you said about Hulk, because Hulk tries to take on Thanos with one Infinity Stone, and guess what? He gets his butt whooped, and he's too afraid to come out of his shell for the rest of the runtime of the film. And that is the perfect prime example of what kind of a threat Thanos is to the Marvel Universe. But it's not just his presence and the way that he interacted with the Hulk. He's also just holding Thor up like he's a rag doll, man.
Right.
Like a rag doll. And he kills, in the first 10 minutes of the movie, the other biggest threat in, well, not maybe the biggest threat in the universe, but the biggest threat to the Avengers so far. But he manages to take over the mantle as the next villain for the Avengers. And I just love the symbolism there, and I think Josh Brolin gives a phenomenal performance. But he also does some things in the movie. You can see where he's coming from, and I think those are the best villains in movies, ones that you understand their backstory and why they're doing what they're doing. And one thing that you mentioned in our spoiler review is his relationship with Gamora. Talk a little bit about that, because I liked what you said earlier.
You know, just the father-daughter relationship, and that one scene, like the whole time I'm like, gosh, I hate Thanos. I hate Thanos. But then I see that scene where, you know, you see little Gamora, and she comes up, and he's got the knife, and he's showing her, you know, it's perfect balance, and he tries to make her not feel safe and everything. And so I caught myself like, oh, he's a pretty good guy. He's going to take Gamora. She has no mommy and daddy.
As her people are dying in the background.
And then I'm like, oh, wait. But then all of a sudden you hear all those shots and all the millions of people dying. I was like, okay.
No.
Well, never mind. But, you know, there are times where, you know, you see this big guy with tears coming down his eyes as he was about to make the sacrifice for the Soul Stone. But, and I could even see myself, you know, to feel sorry for him there.
Yeah.
So he was that kind of an actor. He's so good in that to make you have those emotions, okay? Because he can make you hate him. He can make you hate him a lot, and also he can make you feel sorry for him at the same time, if that makes any sense. And I've never really had that with an actor.
I haven't either.
I really haven't.
I haven't either. And it's incredible what they do, and they did it with Caesar in Planet of the Apes. The emotion coming through the performance capture is one thing, but then you have the way that he just evokes evil, right? And I've never seen evil like that before. Even that end scene, and watching the movie again, I got even more chills than I did the first time. But the end, when he appears through that portal on Earth for the first time, and that music, I have to find that score right now because it is absolutely phenomenal. Just him walking and just taking them out one by one.
Yeah.
The Avengers,
Yeah.
the buildup of the best team in the universe, plus the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's just wiping them out. Nothing, no sweat. You see him get a little, okay, Captain America, he's holding my hand up pretty well, but even then he just rears back, punches him, knocks him right out. But I think the coolest thing to me was to make the sacrifice for the Soul Stone. You have to have loved that person.
That's right.
So you have to. You mean you're not going to get the Soul Stone if there wasn't love there. And even though you have tears, yeah, you can fake that, man. But when he throws Gamora down, I felt it. I felt everything. I felt everything that they were building up to at that moment, and I knew that Thanos was not just this big embodiment of evil. The guy thinks that what he is doing is right, and that is the most incredible thing you can do. But on top of that, it's not just what he is doing he thinks is right. What he is doing is wiping out half the universe, Devin. And that's something we have never seen from any villain in any movie in cinematic history, and it's something that is ripped straight out of the comic books. So when he snapped his fingers, what was your thoughts, not just for the dead Avengers, whatever, how do you feel about what Thanos was thinking at that moment? Because you can see he maybe not regretted what he did, but he had a lot of pain and sorrow for it. So what were your thoughts when he snapped his fingers?
As soon as he snapped his fingers, first of all, I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was just like, okay, what's going on with some people disappearing? Then it took a second to register, and I was like, oh, okay, he just destroyed half the universe.
Yeah.
But I think back to that scene, he's like, he was looking forward. He told him he's looking forward to that day when he can look over the sun rising and know that the universe is going to be okay.
Yeah.
And so I think initially,
That's a great point.
he was kind of upset, but as you watch him see the sunset, he's kind of got that look on his face like, yeah, I did that, But
I did it, yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to see, and I think in the next movie we can really see what his true emotions are. But I think you're right. I think there's a mixture there. I think he was happy because that's what his goal was. His goal was to take out half the universe, but now he might be feeling a little bit of remorse because of what he had to do. He killed the only thing that he loved. You know? So it was a hard journey to get there, but he did do it.
He did it, and he did it. Now, I can't believe I'm saying he did it. I never thought Marvel would go that route. They would go that dark. But that final scene, what you just said, of him smiling, I think might go down as one of the most iconic scenes in a superhero movie ever, because he just did the thing that no one ever thought Marvel would pull off and accomplish. And you can say whatever you want about the movie. Yeah, sure, they put in too many characters. They kind of had to. Sure, the humor and whatever might not mix together. You have to acknowledge that what Thanos has done here, and the way that they made it work as a film, has to go down as one of the coolest things I have ever personally seen in a superhero movie, and that is what makes him the coolest villain. And at the end, at the main end, when the last credit has rolled, and after you see Nick Fury and Maria Hill, it says Thanos will return. So, Devin, what are you expecting from him in the next Avengers movie?
A lot more evilness, hopefully.
God, I hope so.
Hopefully a lot more evilness. A lot more fighting, a lot more of his fighting. And one thing I want to mention is Thanos was super, super smart.
Yeah, it was.
His strategies that he used to fight were very smart. Just like when he got Gamora to come to him. Yeah. He thought that plan out himself. Yeah. So he was very, very smart. And I think that's what we're going to see in the next movie. The next movie, he's got all 6 stones. Yeah. So we're going to see all kinds of him using his brain to trick the Avengers into doing things and stuff like that. So I'm super excited to see what kind of things he's going to have up his sleeve. And as well, like I said, once they get there, what kind of fighting is going to take place. Because with all the stones, He's going to be able to do all kinds of different stuff, and you guys get to see that at the end of the movie. But I think there's more.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, he's going to learn more with the stones,
absolutely.
what he can and can't do. So I think we're going to see some cool stuff, and maybe some stuff that even me and you didn't know he could maybe do.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. I mean, he's got the abilities to do, and we did see the glove was like a little fried, but I still think he'll have the opportunity to use the stones. We saw a happy Thanos. We saw a Thanos that I think outsmarted the Avengers in this movie, Devin. But hopefully in the next film, we'll kind of see the reverse. Yeah. We'll see the original Avengers try to find a way to outsmart Thanos. And you know, while it's going to end on an emotional note, because I do feel like we're going to lose some of the original Avengers if we get to bring the other ones back, but you know it's going to end with the Avengers somehow pulling it out. I just don't know how they're going to do it, man. I don't know how they're going to come up with a plan to defeat this guy, because he is the biggest threat I've ever seen in any film ever. And that, Devin, is, first of all, why I just spit on the microphone, and second of all, why he is my favorite villain of all time.
Any enemy you have, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
How are you going to defeat that enemy? I think you're right. That's a perfect enemy. If you don't know what you're going to do, how anybody's going to defeat them, then you've got a good enemy there. And I like what you said.
Doesn't it feel like the Darth Vader, or maybe the Emperor of the Marvel Universe? I mean, how does that feel to you?
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. I think you're going to have to start people, you know how we refer to things and, oh, you're acting like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Or people always make fun of, say things like, Luke, I'm your father.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like that. I think we're going to start to refer things to Thanos and things like lines that he says. I think for sure that's what it's going to be, especially with our generation,
Yeah, oh, absolutely. There are kids that, in our theater, that watched that movie, man, and you could hear just... This kid behind me was like talking on and off the whole time, and then you see what Thanos does, and there was silence. And the kid at the main end, I kid you not, he I don't know if he looked at his mom or where he was looking, but he goes, "Mommy, why did Thanos kill the Avengers?" That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. That is what you want in a villain. The stakes, everything is there. And sure, they might negate some of that in the next movie, but it's not, oh, we know more films are coming out because we know what the studios are doing. Tony Stark doesn't know that. He doesn't know that Spider-Man's coming back. He thinks the kid, that child, is dead because of what Thanos did, and that's why I believe that people will end up referring to him as maybe the Darth Vader of this generation, and I know that's going off on a little edge there, but I love what you said there, Devin. That's probably what we're looking at. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, my spoiler review, all of my countdowns. Devin, any closing thoughts, and where can the people find you online?
I'm just sad now because you mentioned the Spider-Man scene.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's pretty sad. No, I'm just kidding. I'm back to being happy, yeah. Gosh, this is such a hard scene. And it's all because of you. All right, okay, sorry, there goes the mic. All right, you can find me at Devin Clevenger on Twitter. I don't use a lot of other social media. I am very old. Just kidding.
God, you are old, aren't you?
That means you're old.
You ugly bastard. All right, so you guys can find me wherever. I don't care. Just come back, watch our spoiler review because we had an absolute blast. And Devin, thank you so much, man, for doing these 2 videos with me. Hope to see you again very soon. He has to go back and teach his children and calm them down when they are asking him, Devin, why did Thanos kill all the Avengers? We'll catch you guys. We will catch you guys later. Oh, man.